What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 2025 Honda Pilot all-wheel drive Black Edition. This one is finished in platinum white. MSRP is a little over $56,000. Big shout out to Flo Honda of Statesville for providing this SUV for today's video. Take a look at their website, links down below. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Honda Pilot, you're going to find the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 engine. This 6-cylinder pumps out 285 horsepower with 262 pound-feet of torque. Has an 8-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive, runs on an 18.5 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 18 miles per hour in the city with 23 out on the highway, and then curb weight is around 4,600 pounds. The overall length is 200.2 inches with a wheelbase at 113.8, width is 78.5, and height is 72 inches. Moving on to the styling with the 2025 Honda Pilot Black Edition, as you can tell, we got a lot of blacked out aspects to this family SUV. You're gonna see a nice set of LED headlights with a dark housing, and then I love how the black grille cuts right into the headlights themselves. We have massive openings to provide cooling to the engine. You're also gonna see forward-facing camera, safety sensor in the Honda logo, Black Edition logo on the far side as well. The front end definitely has a pretty cool appearance. If you do tap any of the lock or unlock buttons, you can see a little bit of those LEDs. Got some sharp contours throughout the front bumper, gloss black trim, then a nice cutout to provide some airflow, then a plastic black material in the lower portion of the front bumper. There are LED fog lights down below, all of your parking sensors, then a little bit more openings all down below. Has a nice front end appearance, very boxy and squared off to give it a more aggressive look. Sharp body lines in the hood as well, fading towards the windshield, and a really prominent body line cutting through the entire side profile. Down below, we have a nice set of 20-inch wheels finished off, multi-spoke design with that black color, and then just a little bit of plastic black surrounding the wheel arch. You can also see another sharp body line down below, plastic material for those rocker panels, and then body colored on the door handles and gloss black for the mirror caps. Power foldings, when you hit the unlock button, they're going to pop outwards. You can also see the integrated turn signal. You got black trim throughout all the windows, black roof rails, and a panoramic roof up on top. And I like how the sharp lines cut towards the rear. This third window is kind of floating in the bodywork, which is a pretty cool design. And then the overall side profile, it's a very proportional looking 3-row SUV. Nice sharp lines, really good overall look. You can see the nice design on these taillights with red, and then all blocked out throughout the center with your Pilot name written out, Honda logo in chrome, and then a nice integrated spoiler up on top. Got the Black Edition logo, plastic material down below with a cool trim piece for the exhaust tips. Those are not actually the exhaust tips, they just look very cool. Parking sensors and reflectors, all-wheel drive badge, and overall a pretty good looking SUV. Taking a look at the key fob, we get lock, unlock, remote start, and the power tailgate. You can also see the Honda badge on the back. Keeping the car locked, you can just keep the key fob in your pocket. Once you grab the door handle, mirrors will fold out, vehicle will unlock, and we can take a look at this interior. You're gonna see a pretty nice black leather interior with some red accents all throughout, and then all black for the door panel. You can see this soft touch material up on top, some padding in the center, this cool silver and black design throughout this trim piece. You're gonna see memory seating, your release handle, all the controls up above, with a good sized grab handle and padding for your armrest with contrast stitching. Lots of storage throughout the door, all of your power controls as well, and then I like the red perforated design throughout the center. You can see all the cool circles and then the nice red stitching contrasting very well. Making our way up the backrest, you can also see Black Edition is stitched. That full panoramic sunroof, and then a nice 3-spoke design on the steering wheel with black leather and red stitching. And then now inside the 2025 Honda Pilot Black Edition, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You're gonna see a nice LCD screen for the gauge cluster. You can see on the left side we have the tach along with the engine temperature, and then we have the speed and the fuel on the right side. In the center you can see a digital readout for speed. We also have your seat belts, audio information as well. Then if I just scroll up and down on the steering wheel, I can customize a little bit, see phone, radio, USB and auxiliaries, custom display. If I go into here, you can adjust a few different things, what you want to see. Going back, you have a few more items that you can take a look at. And then continuing, you have a back icon itself to back out of here, and you can just scroll through a few things. So not a bad system, it looks pretty nice on here. You're gonna see the Honda badge in the center, a few of those controls on the left side with Bluetooth and audio, heated steering wheel, and then cruise control on the right side. To the right side of the steering wheel, we have one of these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, controls for the windshield wipers, headlights and turn signal on the left as well. Down below, you're gonna see power liftgate, traction control, heated windshield. Then we have one of your air vents, heads-up display system, and then just some soft touch plastic all across the dash. We have a lot of storage all hidden here. This nice leather material with red stitching going around the dashboard itself. And then Honda's infotainment, pretty simple as you'd expect on every other Honda vehicle. Nice large tiles, pretty snappy touchscreen as well. There are some nice physical buttons as well. Then you can go into your navigation screen, get a good view of that. There are going to be a few different shortcuts all down below. Hitting the home icon as well. See trip information and a few others. If I go ahead and push this into reverse, you have a nice backup camera along with your top-down view. You can configure these just a little bit, have different adjustments you're able to mess with. If I go ahead and hit the car into drive, that'll go away, but I can also toggle this camera icon, and we now have that front view camera. So pretty cool camera system, of course. Get all your controls down there to adjust everything, and then I can exit out of the camera and even just toggle different zones. Below that, you're gonna see some air vents and then all the physical climate controls. We have heated and ventilated seating, your dual zone temperature. You can see front defrost, rear and mirrors. You have your different zones, fan speed, and then down below that, you're even able to adjust all of your rear climate. Below that, we have a few different plugs, storage, wireless charging, and extra storage, two nice cup holders, and then beneath your drive select, we have different drive modes. You can toggle this, and we have quite a few in this car. It's gonna give you a pretty nice little depiction as well for all sorts of different drive modes. We even have a few off-road ones like trail, sand, and then even a tow mode. Down below that, we have the auto start stop, downhill assist, and brake hold. And then nice padding on the armrest with more red stitching. Pretty good amount of storage space in the center. And then your glove box is pretty large as well. One last look at the interior. The 2025 Pilot, definitely a nice place to be. Pretty well appointed as well. Cool looking on those seats. Another look at that massive roof. And then up above, you're gonna see we have a sunglass holder along with a mirror to monitor the kids, and then controls for the roof, dome lights, and then garage door buttons underneath your mirror. Moving to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, you're gonna see a very similar door panel back here, even with a little bit of that red stitching. You have some storage all hidden, and then there's even a set of manual sunshades. This one particularly has the bench row, so you're gonna have 3 seats wide right in the center. You have a few manual controls, all the same red stitching as well as that cool perforations. And then the center seat is actually removable. There's a strap right here you can pull and take this completely out to give you captain's chairs, which is a great touch. And then this will also fold down nice and flat with armrests and cup holders. On the center, you're gonna see some air vents, different climate controls with heated seats, different plugs, and then there's storage behind all of the seats, even with a phone holder. To take a look at the seat, if you pull this strap right now, that'll fold forward to give you that armrest and the nice cup holders. And then we have a button right here. You can press that and that will slide forwards to get you nice space into the 3 seats in back. From there, you can also do that and pull the recline lever, and these will fold down nice and flat with the seat out of the way. Sitting in the second row now with the Honda Pilot, this is a pretty roomy SUV. With the center down, you can see just how nice that is for an armrest. Got a little bit of storage there. At 5'11", I mean, I have plenty of room, great headroom, really good knee room as well. You can slide these forwards and back, so with it all the way back, no issues. And I have it currently reclined all the way, which really gives you a lot of space. So not a bad option at all for a family car. And then now hopping into the third row, once again, this is actually a pretty roomy car. I have really good headroom, nice windows. There's even an air vent on the side of me, along with 2 cup holders and a USB plug. And then there's a strap down below that you can pull, and you can mess with the recline. So you can go pretty straight up or nice and far back. And if I go ahead and pull this seat back to where it was, honestly, still have really good knee room. Of course, the seat's a little bit on the low side, so not the best for full-grown adults. But honestly, 2 people like myself can literally fit back here with people in front. So really good use of space in this SUV. And there's even a button you can press and easily slide the seat out of the way, and then we can easily climb out. To gain access to the cargo area, you can hold down the button on here. Of course, you have one on the back, or you can even just hold your foot under here for about a second, and it's gonna automatically pop open. You can hear that beep. Might take a little bit to find the actual sensor, but not bad for the first try. And then back here, we have quite a lot of cargo space. You can even lift this open, and you have a huge amount all down here. And then for the seats themselves, you can just take this strap, pull that, and that's gonna get these nice and flat. So once again, really good use of space. And you can see with that left seat all the way down now just how much extra storage you're gonna get, and the space behind the second row if those are in the up position. You can also see over on the left side there's a little bit extra storage space, and then from here we can just press that and it's gonna automatically close. All right, so we are setting off now in the Honda Pilot in eco mode. Slowly accelerating. It kind of accelerates like you would expect, just your typical V6 with a nice transmission. So it's just kind of an old school driving characteristic with that robust V6. I know a lot of people love that. A lot of cars these days, even in this class, are getting like a 4-cylinder turbo or a 4-cylinder hybrid. So pretty nice to see just kind of a simple old school power plant. So we'll just go back to normal mode. There's gonna be a little bit laggy throttle in the eco mode, of course, just to be more economical. Normal mode, of course, we'll sharpen that up a little bit more, and sport mode will sharpen it up further. So getting up to some speed. Honestly, pretty healthy. The engine will rev out a little bit. It's going 4,000 to 5,000 RPM, just giving it half throttle. So you are gonna have to use the engine to get the power, rather than a turbo engine can give you a lot more torque down low. Normal driving, now I recently did do the Trail Sport. This definitely drives a little bit better for the on-road capabilities, a little bit more stable. Of course, the Trail Sport's more for tackling some off-road terrain. But this thing is roomy and big feeling. It's not too big. It's not like a Suburban or Tahoe, of course, but you can tell there is some substantial size to this. You still have really good visibility all around, so it's really an easy vehicle to place, but you can tell there's just space in here. As the driver, I mean, I'm fitting here really nice and comfortably. Armrests are all really good, visibility's all good. The seats are nice and padded, roomy as well. They're supporting my legs nicely, good back support. I like the materials too. You know, the steering wheel feels really nice, the armrests are comfortable. Honestly, not a bad family SUV, and the fact that we have all the technology for safety, of course ventilated seats and a few comfort settings, I mean, it makes this a pretty nice vehicle to drive. The steering is nice and light to where it's pretty easy to pilot. And then getting up to some speed, cruising at higher speeds, I mean, the suspension is just absorbing bumps really well. It's quiet. You really don't hear anything. This is a nice smooth road. Let's see what this noisier road does. Brakes do a good job. But it's a nice place to be. You know, this is somewhere where you can go on a family trip and just be in comfort and not really have to focus on the car. You can just focus on the adventure and trip you're going on. Alright, so my honest thoughts now with the Honda Pilot Black Edition. So basically the Black Edition is more of an appearance package, giving you the blacked out exterior design. And then this interior, really cool. Honestly, all blacked out, but you have the cool contrast with the red stitching and the perforations. So it's a nice, subtle package just to have kind of a cooler looking family SUV. Now this one, of course, more road focused than what the Trail Sport is, which is the last one that I have filmed. It seems to drive better on road, where it's just a little bit more confident, kind of what you would expect a typical SUV to be. I think some of my favorite things are the fact that it is so roomy. You know, when you look at the SUVs, you have the jumbo ones, the Sequoias, the Tahoes, things like that that are just massive, not going to fit in everyone's garage, not going to fit in everyone's driveway, and some people just don't like parking such a big vehicle. I feel like this Pilot is kind of that sweet spot to where it is noticeably not a small SUV. This has some presence to it, it has size to it, and yet it's not that big on the outside. It feels roomy, it feels like a big car, but it's not crazy. So this is kind of that blend of you want the biggest SUV, but you genuinely don't want the biggest SUV. So this Pilot kind of gives you that sweet spot of it is very roomy, there's so much cargo area in here, so much space for people, and you know, you're going to be able to use this for the family, for the trips, but it's not that hard to park. It's not really the biggest thing. It's decently economical on gas too, and it's also not 70 grand like the jumbo ones seem to price. So kind of a good blend. I like also how simple it is. You know, Honda, they're cars that last forever, and they are cars that people want simplicity. And the fact that all of the technology in here is nothing really fancy out of this world, it just is nice, easy, it works well, and it still looks good. I'm not really the biggest fan of modern cars where everything's just all on a big touchscreen. I don't really need to hop on that trend of that's the cool thing to do. I feel like you can still have a normal interior and it still feels like a new car. So I think Honda's giving you something like that. They're giving you something that's not crazy out of this world in price point, and it's just something you can live with and just drive and use. You're not going to be distracted messing with the climate or the radio adjustments or anything like that. The driving dynamics, it definitely drives like kind of a normal car. You know, a V6 with a 10-speed transmission, it kind of feels like this. It's not super fast, but it's not a sluggish car either. when you want the power, you step on it, yeah, it might take a second to downshift and you're going to be bringing out the engine, but that's what it's there for. So it's a car that you can truly use the power when you need it, and when you're driving slowly, it just drives nice and comfortable. No real genuine complaints. I think if you're looking for something like this, this is something you should take a look at. Towing capabilities, not all these are going to be set up for towing, so that's kind of the one drawback. Depends on what you're going to be doing with it, but certainly is a pretty capable SUV for the family and for some nice adventures. But that is it for the 2025 Honda Pilot, this black edition, pretty cool spec. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and then a big shout out to Flo Honda of Statesville for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their website, the link's down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.